LimeVibe.
Check 1 2 1 2. I didn't check my video, people. Welcome, everybody. Welcome once again to the LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yari Araman Camp, your chosen moderator for the night. So thank you for joining me again for another LimeVibe Live podcast. Give me a second. Let me break away for 1 second. I'm not going. I'm just going to check this video out because it's still showing a bit fuzzy. Be right back, people. 1 second. That's a lot better. Very unprofessional, but that's how we roll here in the Caribbean. It's very unprofessional, but thank you for indulging me with that. The camera's video quality is a bit better, so I appreciate you guys joining me for another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yari Garman Kemp, like how I said, and thank you for joining us. If you have not done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. That's LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. There is also a donate link inside the description. So if you have not done so, please click on the donate link and give anything to the LimeVibe Live podcast you feel be worth. It could be $10, $20, $100, $1,000, $5,000. Anything that you think that the LimeVibe podcast deserves, we open it up to you. So just click the donate link inside the description. You can see what we're talking about. So I hope you guys had a good week. We're in December already. That means we're going to have Christmas in the next couple of weeks. Aren't you excited about that? I'm excited about Christmas. I always like the end of the year for Christmas at least. Even though at the end of the year I always have bad luck, but I always look forward to Christmas. Christmas time always, gives me good feelings. I guess everyone gets that because everyone remembers their childhood growing up in Christmas time when they got gifts from their parents. Most people do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas and the end of the year and wrapping up. I hope you guys spent your year productively as well. I hope you didn't waste most of your year, and I hope you guys don't waste any more of it if you have been doing so. It's very important that you guys maximize most of your time because we're only here for a short amount of time. We're only here for a short amount of time. And we're not sure when the good Lord and Savior is going to take us out of this world. So we just have to make sure we do everything that we can to make this a better place for everybody else, for all and sundry. I just hope that you guys have been enjoying your day thus far, Like I said, it's the first day in December, December 1st. So let's try to turn out for the rest of the year and make the rest of the year a beautiful and peaceful end of the year. I know we've gone through a lot this year, but it wasn't as bad as 2020 or 2021. At least we don't have COVID to worry about anymore, thank God. So we can just move forward with trying to rebuild our economies and our countries from the ravages of the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's what everyone's now is talking about, the rebound that everyone's having. The Bahamas, Sudan, Curacao, everyone's talking about the rebound that they're getting from the COVID-19. Business is picking up, all over the place. So let's just be happy that we're out of the COVID-19 and we're soaring high now. There's high growth. But there are a few things to talk about tonight. Well, of course, I guess you guys already know that the COP28 is going on right now. Yeah, it's the I think it's Council of Parties is a UN group that talks about climate change. I guess everyone really remembers COP27. You thought that was a one-off if you were just late to the party like I was. No, COP27 wasn't a one-off. They do this every year. They talk about climate change issues and initiatives. Okay, and now they're in Dubai this year. They're in Dubai talking about climate change issues. Last year they were in Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt, for COP27. But this year, COP28, they're in Dubai. And this year is significant because this is the first year they're going to actually adopt a loss and damage fund that's going to hold polluting countries accountable for the damage they've done and create a fund that developed countries that have been impacted by climate change initiatives and climate change disasters and catastrophes will be paid out of this fund for loss and damage. That's significant. That is very significant. I guess these larger countries are putting the money where their mouth is, right? And they finally adopted it because it took them a year to come and adopt this, because this was announced in COP27, this loss and damage fund. It took them a whole year to really work out the kinks and get to the point where they could actually present something to the rest of the world and say, this is what this is going to look like. And so they've adopted the loss and damage fund at COP28 this year. I just want to say congratulations to all and sundry, all the people who were involved in this and making this a possibility and a reality. I thank you from the bottom of my heart because developing countries like the Bahamas and the Caribbean, we deserve to be compensated for the damages that's been inflicted upon us by climate change initiatives that the developed countries have started. If you guys were here during Hurricane Dorian, you'd have seen the madness, and the carnage. If you were in Dominica for Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria, you would have seen what it did. You'd have seen it. You'd have seen what Hurricane Irma and Maria did to Puerto Rico. You would have seen the damage and the devastation. So yes, we do need this fund to help rebuild our economies and our countries after the damages of climate change. That's being precipitated by, pollution and air pollution and larger countries burning fossil fuels. This is important. I just want to say congratulations once again to all the negotiators at the table at COP28 for bringing this to a final end, that we can have this loss and damage fund. So I really appreciate you guys. I thank you much for it, man. We got some other stuff to talk about tonight too, actually. I don't know if you guys have seen this Gallup poll, this Gallup Law and Order report, actually. The Gallup Global Law and Order report, where it said that Latin America and the Caribbean ranks the lowest with regard to confidence in their police force, even behind sub-Saharan Africa. That means F the police in Latin America and the Caribbean. We could care less about the police. So they have no confidence in the police force. I guess you really have to take that into consideration because when you look at what's happening in El Salvador with all these roundups with these MS-13 gangs, of course you would feel afraid of the police force, but at least you don't have to worry about the gangs anymore because El Salvador is now safer as a result of these cleanups, so reports have said. However, you just can't deny that, the police force needs to have more scrutiny and more investigation. Most countries in the Caribbean don't even have an internal affairs unit where they actually investigate police brutality and police corruption, and they don't even touch it, I guess it's one of those things, but we need it, man. We need it desperately because you can see that confidence is low. They said, the report said that just over 10 adults worldwide, 72% said in 2022 that they have confidence in their local police. The results vary significantly by region from a low of 52% in Latin America. Just slightly over half of the people in Latin America and the Caribbean say they have confidence in the police force. Just slightly over half. 52%. Well, you could say half. All right. F the police. Me personally, I love the police. Police are my friends. I support my police officers. However, I'm not going to turn a blind eye and say that we haven't been having our fair share of issues in regard to extrajudicial killings and police corruption and invasions of police drug dealing and drug smuggling straight across the region, not just in the Bahamas, not just in Jamaica, straight across the region. And, tell the truth and shame the devil. So we need to work on that, Caribbean and Central America. We need to work on that, man. But I just want to say a shout out to Nayib Bukele in El Salvador for really putting the clamp down on the MS-13 gangs and all those street gangs in El Salvador, making the place cleaner and safer. That's paramount. So I hope he goes back to being normal. But the thing is, when you give someone that kind of power, when they realize that kind of power, they don't give it back normally. Because I was telling one of my cousins the other day, we don't know what it's like. We just don't know what it's like to be tempted at that level, where there's not just the access to the money and the resources, but you're able to tell a grown man to jump high and tell a grown woman to go sit down in that corner. You could be able to snap your finger and people come running to you and people dash here and there. That's power. That's control. That's soul control. I don't know what it is to be tempted at that level. I just don't know what that's like. To be able to tell people, and people have to come up to me every day, kissing my ass, tell me I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and willing to do almost anything for me because I am the prime minister or the president. I just don't know what it's like to feel that kind of power. I can just imagine how intoxicating it is. So asking Nayib Bukele in El Salvador to peel back some of those powers he was granted to deal with the MS-13 gang and deal with these gangs in Central America and El Salvador, I guess that's a hard ask because I wouldn't want to give it back. I mean, I probably would find it hard to give it back myself. Let's be honest now. We don't know what it's like to be tempted at that level. So we just got to give him some grace period. Hopefully that he comes back and talk to him in a nice fashion, nice, calm fashion where we can have a sensible election in El Salvador. Most likely he would win resoundingly. But still though, let's be sensible about this because we really understand that what he's done in El Salvador really and truly is commendable. It's commendable. El Salvador is one of the most safest countries in Central America now. But beforehand, before he came to power, it had the highest murder rate in the region. Let that sink in for you. The man took action. Nayib Bukele took action. He took action against these gangs. He went straight at them. He plucked them up and he rounded them and he put them in jail. That's commendable. That's a man right there. But turning our attention to another country in the South American continent, Venezuela. The International Court of Justice ruled today that Venezuela is to refrain from taking any action that would alter the situation between them and Guyana over the Essequibo border dispute. And ICJ said they expressly prohibit or forbid Venezuela from going forward with any referendum to the same that's going to ask the Venezuelan people, or what's left of the Venezuelan people in Venezuela, to take any action against Guyana. And the ICJ also recognizes the Guyana has control over the Essequibo region that Venezuela says is there. See, it's a long-standing dispute. It goes back to when British Guyana, they tore away a piece of Grand Colombia, which Venezuela was a part of, because it was Colombia and Venezuela was all one. And Britain took a part of Venezuela and made it British Guyana. And that partition is from the 50s. No, from the 1800s, sorry. The 1800s, sorry. All right? And Venezuela never forgot it. But Guyana's been in control of that region for the past God knows how long. And so to come now, after Guyana started to pump for oil, it's just, a little unscrupulous by Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. I mean, you lost, man. You lost your territory. It's been gone. I mean, any international lawyer would tell you the same. They will tell you that Guyana has had control over that region for the past, by prescription. They have the land. Prescription. Yeah. So it's gone. And the ICJ was right in ruling that Venezuela should just leave Guyana alone with the Essequibo territory. Leave them alone. They're pumping oil. Your oil industry is falling apart. So let at least Guyana pump some oil out of the Essequibo region. They didn't even realize they had oil in that region until they started to really pump about 4 or 5 years ago. And now they're an oil-rich country. I'd say leave Guyana alone, man. And everyone's asking of whether or not Venezuela is going to invade Guyana. I don't think Nicolas Maduro is that crazy because he knows that, at least Brazil, we don't have to go to the United States. We know at least Brazil, Brazil would come out and totally annihilate Nicolas Maduro's forces in South America. Okay, we know Brazil have already said that they would support Guyana in any altercation they have against Venezuela if Venezuela tries to invade Guyana over the Essequibo River. We understand that. But Brazil is being steadfast a supporter of Guyana and their right to that territory in the Essequibo region and to pump oil. Brazil is in their corner 100%. But, I don't even have to tell you that the United States would not want any altercation or any conflagration in that region right there between Venezuela and Guyana. And everyone should just go about their business. But Nicolas Maduro is a madman. He's going to push it to the end. He's going to, thump his chest and, and go on with his bravado and say that he has control and he's the all-powerful. He's giving me a Saddam Hussein kind of vibe too. Remember when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait back in the 90s? He's giving me that Saddam Hussein kind of vibe, man. That madness that infects Ali's mind. There we go. We're talking about power. We're talking about what it's like to be intoxicated at that level, to be tempted at that level with power. We just don't know. And he's been there for so long, and he's really thwarted every possible attempt of opposition in Venezuela. He's the Il Duce. He's the leader supreme. So what could you do with him? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And, Venezuelan migrants still pouring out of the country. So I don't know what kind of referendum he's going to have this Sunday. No one's going to be in the vote. Millions of Venezuelans have left Venezuela under the Nicolas Maduro regime. They are packed up in places like Peru and Ecuador and in Venezuela, that how much they can take. And millions of Venezuelans are scattered all across the Caribbean and Latin America, running from Nicolas Maduro, running the country into the ground, and now threatening to run the country into a war they don't need. But, that's the madness of these rulers, man. Like I said, we just don't know what it's like to be tempted at that level. So we just hope that, cooler heads prevail. And if he doesn't prevail, if cooler heads don't prevail, that someone would stop him before time. But hey, we don't know what's going through the minds of these people, man. Also, Caribbean Magazine Plus, our magazine, was able to talk to the opposition leader in Dominica. And he's saying that, he's dismissing the European Union's call to halt the citizenship by investment programs in the Caribbean. He said that countries like Dominica and St. Kitts in particular, they have 60% of their revenue coming from citizenship by investment programs, selling these passports. And yes, while he does understand that, some unscrupulous characters are coming through the door, it just needs more screening and more vetting. And I agree with him, because you just can't take away the people's money, how they make money. Because Dominica in particular, they don't have a robust tourism economy. They're not like the Bahamas and Jamaica. They don't have agriculture like Guyana. So you're going to take the only revenue, or you're trying to cripple these countries, man. And there we have the European Union trying to get the Caribbean to do their work for them. These are your criminals. They only want passports. We're selling them passports. Yes, and the regimes, the citizenship by investment programs do need more scrutiny. I think Roosevelt Scarrett understands that. And the rest of the leaders who have these CBI programs, they understand that. But you can't ask them to stop, man. Or block visa-free entry with these passports. It's just foolhardy, man. Just foolishness, man. People have a right to get a passport. And yes, they should screen these people more often. I agree. They need to screen these unscrupulous characters, because some reports say that there have been, one of Muammar Gaddafi's, the deceased leader of Libya, one of his top colonels got a passport. A Russian oligarch got a passport. A Turkish fraudster got a passport through Dominica. So you need to screen them often. But at times like this, money talks. And to be honest with you, would they be going this hard if it was Malta? Because Malta has the same citizenship by investment program. Would they be doing this to Malta? No, they would not. There's a bit of racism behind it as well. They think that we can't sell our passports. They think that we can't run a regime properly. I think that they are running it properly, but just needs more screening, more screening, more screening. And Dr. Fontaine, he's a former IMF economist, actually. Dr. Fontaine saying, no, you can't rip away the citizenship by investment program from Dominica. You're trying to kill the economy. You're trying to kill that country. You got to be out of your mind. And I agree with him as well. And he's the opposition. And he's in total opposition to Roosevelt Scarrett, the Prime Minister of Dominica. And he's saying don't scrap the city CBI program. So there you have it. The CBI program in Dominica is there to stay. I guess it's there to stay in Antigua and St. Kitts and Nevis as well. You know, I had the pleasure of talking to Dr. Thompson Fontaine for the magazine. And he's a pretty straight up guy, man. Very calm person. I'm glad to see him in charge. He's a better change over the leaders they had in Dominica beforehand. I think they've gone through 3 leaders in the last 2 years, leading up to the last election. Let's see, leader of the opposition, Dominica. They had a lady there beforehand. She was absolutely useless. You know, she was trying to boycott the election. And she did boycott the election. Oh, what a fool. Who's leading the opposition? Oh, we have Lennox Linton. Yes, Lennox Linton. The United Workers' Party. Yeah, and after him, there was a lady. I can't remember her name right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, Lennox Linton, he tried his hardest, but he was there too long. I think Roosevelt Scarrett had his number. Just like how Keith Mitchell had Nazim Burke's number all those years. Yeah. Leslie couldn't lead the UEP to any of the 3 in Dominica. You know, he couldn't beat Roosevelt Scarrett. But now let's hope that Dr. Thompson Fontaine can do something different because he's a bright man. He's an IMF trained economist. And I read some backstory in him as well. You know, just as soon as he came back to Dominica from the IMF, Roosevelt Scarrett had him arrested. So that shows you Roosevelt Scarrett is really, putting his foot down. He put his foot on these necks of his opposition man. He put his foot on the necks of his opposition man. My God, he's a madman. Dominica leader. Let me find the name of her name escapes me for some reason. I've spoken to her as well. Dominica female. I can't remember her name. I'm trying to find her name, man. Oh my goodness. Jasmine Paul Victor. No, that's not. I didn't speak to her. I spoke to her as well too for the magazine, Caribbean Magazine Plus. I'm trying to find her name. I just can't find her name, man. Anyway, she's unimportant. She's not there anymore. Okay? So now we have Dr. Thompson Fontaine. I wish him all the best in trying to unseat Roosevelt Scarrett. I think Roosevelt Scarrett is going to run till he's tired. Because he was a very young man when he became Prime Minister of Dominica. He was the youngest leader I think Dominica ever had. And so he has years to go. I don't even think he's 60 yet. He has years to go. So yeah, the Dominican CBI is there to stay. I guess I could say the same thing for all the other Caribbean countries about that have a CBI program. It's not going anywhere. Lastly, a bit of entertainment news. Have you guys been following this rapper T.I. and his wife Tiny, their altercation with their son King? Oh, what an idiot their son King is. He's claiming that he wants to live the hard life. He doesn't appreciate living in the posh luxury that T.I. gave him. And he's also denying that he grew up with a silver spoon as well. Say he had to hustle and grow up on the tough streets of the suburbs where T.I. had him raised. I'm going to show you the video they had the altercation there. They had a huge fight at an Atlanta Falcons game where T.I. screaming that you don't know how tough he had it, how difficult he had it. And T.I. told him, and his wife told him, Tiny told King, their son, have you ever woke up with roaches crawling in your ear? No. And King had to tell them that, hey, I have to grow up with my grandma. You guys weren't there for me. He's acting like a real spoiled asshole, man. I'll play the video for you. Let's play the video. It's not on YouTube, right? I had to download the video so I could play it because YouTube is being, and Facebook is giving us strikes now for content that's from other creators. Even though I thought it was in fair use, like getting really, really strict on these kinds of things, man. So I'm gonna share the video right here with you right now. Let's go. King beat T.I. full.
All right, y'all. So I'm sure y'all probably have already seen the situation that happened with King and his father, T.I. All right, so instead of showing the snippet, we have the whole video right here of what took place. It looks like they got into an argument about him being from the streets or lack thereof. So y'all comment and let me know what you think.
King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
Period. No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. So, man, go.
Or in your ear.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had some niggas in the neighborhood with me that woke up with roaches in their face.
roach in your ear?
Y'all want to go to the bando and man my neighborhood? Do y'all want to go to the bando? Do y'all want to go to the bando? To make him look better, he say shit he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, I used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the fight.
You cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath.
Every
and
day.
throw tantrums to go over there.
I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand that.
No, I'm going to tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready? Because he can suck and pacify over there till he was 12 years old. He was sucking pacify till he was 12 years old. He couldn't do that in the house.
You cried like a baby. Hold your breath.
Yeah.
They trying to say I was over there trying to suck a passy, but they ain't gonna tell you everything like that. They trying to hide it.
Ain't nobody hiding
Sugarcoat it. He capping. He capping.
Hey,
He know I stand on business. He know that.
Sir.
Can't no nigga code it. He capping. He capping.
Hey,
He know I stand on business.
you got your car
He know
reversed,
that.
sir.
Can't no nigga ever pull my car ever in life. I stand on business.
This is so incredibly stupid, right? This is so incredibly stupid. There's no need for this, man. People run away from the hood.
You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on
I don't
business.
feel like you stand on business.
Yeah.
I've
I've been stood on business.
One nigga verse 50.
I've been stood on business. You want to hide it for the world, I'm going to put it out there for them to see.
Hey, man,
Nigga, I want to put up nowhere. You ain't had me put up nowhere, nigga. Like, you ain't had me behind the mansion. I was outside doing what I wanted to do.
You was behind that till you cried.
No, niggas ain't got too much to drink. Niggas done drunk too much. Niggas drunk too much. Let's go. Niggas get mad because we say the South ain't the suburbs. Then he want to talk about some other shit. Like, this be a city nigga. Just be a city nigga.
You're being emotional.
No, I'm being real, nigga. You lying. You lying. You up here flagging. You're capping, nigga. You capping. You capping.
This is totally disrespectful, man. This is totally disrespectful. I mean, I understand you can have arguments with your parents, right? But not to this extent, man. I hope this is a plug for them going into some sort of reality TV show.
Hey, you're upset. You're
capping.
mad.
You capping.
You're
You
mad.
capping. I know. I know you. You capping. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up. Shut
I
up.
know you
Ain't no
though.
mystery about his
I know you though. I know you though.
Shut up.
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that?
Oh, this is
Why you
stupid.
letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself and your family, nigga. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
Man, what is she talking about? Get off me, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Man, get off me, nigga.
Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't shit you can do with me.
Oh my goodness, King! I would say you call Floyd Mayweather for your father. Call Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, put your father in his place, man. But that was the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. That's very embarrassing, man. I couldn't see myself having an argument like that with even my uncles. You know, I couldn't see myself doing that. But you know, we were raised differently in the Caribbean, so you know. But the king is insisting that he stands on business. You know, so what a fool! What a maroon! Like Bugs Bunny said, what a maroon! You know, his mother's right there. They're watching that. That's just toxic family, man. That shows you that he didn't even grow up with T.I. to have that kind of respect for his parents in the open like that, arguing and fighting in front of the open. That's for these kids. The Bible says that, you know, these kids will get disrespectful with their parents, and these parents will be disrespectful with their kids. They tell you these are going to be the days you're going to see these kinds of things in the end days. The Bible said that. You know? So, you know, make it out what you want. You know, you can make a comment in the comment section. Tell me how you feel about that. Or any other thing we spoke about tonight. Tell me how you feel about Venezuela versus Guyana and the International Court of Justice rebuking Venezuela for going forward with this referendum on Sunday. That referendum asking them to take action against Guyana over the Essequibo River. You could talk about that. Or you could talk about, you know, the Caribbean, Latin America has zero respect for the police force, F the police, you know. You can talk about that. You also could talk about the Dominican citizenship by passport, citizenship by investment program that the opposition leader said that he does not want to see scrap. You know, even though it's a free for all, he told Caribbean Magazine Plus it's a free for all. You know, he doesn't want to see the citizenship by investment program scrap. So, or you can talk about COP28. Up to you. You could leave a comment there so I could get some feedback from you guys, see what you guys feel about it. So drop a like, drop a comment, and see what you got to say. And you know, that's our recap right there. We recapped it right just like that. You know, we went through about 5 stories tonight, 5 quick things. We had a good night, man. I had a good day today, man. I had a great day. Got up and I exercised like I normally do. You know, I do it every morning. You know, I take care of my body, I take care of myself. I'm still trying to lose a few more pounds. I came down a lot, man. So I feel very good. I feel very fit. I'm going to go out again tomorrow morning with my ex-neighbor. We're going to go out to a park tomorrow morning. He's going to run a few laps with me. He said, I'm looking for an exercise partner, really looking for an exercise partner. I'm tired of going to the gym by myself. I'm seeing all these couples boot up sometimes, and I'm seeing these people working with their friends. And I'm there by myself. Even though I don't mind, right, but I'm getting tired of it. I want to go with somebody who's going to help push me to the limit. Because right now, I'm plateauing on my exercises. And I think someone else there with me who has the same goal and the same mindset, they have to push us together and get me over the plateau. You know, instead of running an 11-minute mile, help me to run a 9-minute mile. Instead of benching 215, help me to bench 250. You know, instead of squatting 250, help me to squat 300. Instead of doing 50 sit-ups, help me do 150 sit-ups. That's the kind of support you need from the gym, man, your gym buddies. But I've met some new people there at the gym. Don't get me wrong, but they're not my friends. They have no obligation to help me to get to my point. They're just there to give, hey, how you doing? Hey, you're looking good, blah, blah, blah. That's all they are for, you know. Otherwise than that, you know, I just want to say thank you guys for joining me again. And please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. That's LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube if you have not done so already. And drop a comment somewhere to tell me how you like the content or what you find interesting from the content. You know, like I told you, man, that T.I. and King altercation, that was very embarrassing. I thought it was more of a fist fight, but it was embarrassing nonetheless. Let's hear King run on with such foolishness. He wants to go to the streets. People run from the ghetto, man. People run from the streets. You're trying to run back. You're trying to glorify, you know, the hood. And he grew up in the bando. And he's fighting his father to show his father his truth. But you know something? That's what T.I. glorified in his music all his life. So that's what King understands to be macho. That's what he understands what it is to be a man, which is just foolishness. So T.I. has no one to blame but himself, to be honest with you. That's just my take on it. I'm not a father, but I just could see that in that, right? That you have to be the example you want to set for your kids. So, you know, that's our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. That's LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. And drop a comment. And please, it really helps out a lot. And also, there's a donate link inside the description. There's a donate link inside the description. So anything that moves your heart to give to LimeVibe Live Podcast, we would greatly appreciate it. Whether it's $1 or $1,000 or $10,000. We really would appreciate it. So I'll see you guys again next week. Have a good weekend. Bye.